Hello, Matt Brown. It's really good to see you. This is Marjorie Waldo at Arts Garage, and we're talking about your upcoming show with our new series, Music from Home, live at Arts Garage. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
So you are a South Florida kid. You were born in New Jersey, you told me, but you've lived in South Florida most of your life.
Yes, most of my
Do you
life.
like it down here?
I mean, it's all I know, so I guess so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
You
do.
like the sunshine?
I do like the sunshine. It gets a little hot sometimes, but sorry, it comes with the good days and the bad days, you know.
Where in New Jersey were you born?
New Brunswick.
Oh, I lived up there for a while, not in New Brunswick, but in Princeton, which was about 20 minutes from New Brunswick. Rutgers University is in New Brunswick.
Yeah, my dad went there.
Oh yeah, it's a nice town.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about when you started playing an instrument, because you play, was it bass, piano, percussion, drums, and you sing.
Yes.
So when did you start any of that?
I started when I was very young. My dad is a jazz pianist, so I grew up just listening to him. He would be playing when he got home from work or in the morning. For instance, like learning the church song that my aunt sent him, like the new choir song or something like that. He'd be sitting down learning that. Then after he got up, I would go sit down and try to mimic what he was doing, pretty much. So that started at a really young age.
That was piano.
Yeah, that was piano. And then from there, when I was about 11, he got me a guitar. And then he only saw that I was playing the low E string. So he took that away from me and got me a bass. And he told me to play at church. And then that's where everything just took off.
That's really cool. You write your own music as well as sing some of our favorites, right?
Yes.
When did you start writing your own music?
I've been writing my own music since, I want to say the first original I wrote was back in like my senior year of high school. And I never did anything with it. It just sat there. I still never did anything with it. But I started actually pursuing a career as a solo artist in 2018.
Okay.
In January, I released my first single.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's great. I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask, let me ask you when you started performing, because you're coming for the stuff you did for From Our Hearts, you did solo, where you played keyboard and sang. But when you do this show on August 29th, you're going to be with your band, which is 3 or 4 people?
It's going to be 4 of us.
What instruments?
It's going to be drums, keyboard. There's going to be 3 keyboards.
Oh, wow.
There's going to be a bass guitar and trumpet and flugelhorn, and then various percussion and multiple vocals. So
oh my God, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds awesome. So when did you start performing, like in a band?
I started performing in a band pretty much, well, from church. I was playing in the church band growing up, and I was playing the bass, and starting off I was really bad, and my aunt would turn my bass amp down every time I hit a bad note. So it was rough at first, a lot of tears going home after church. But eventually after high school, I started my own like actual bands, like playing out and stuff like that. Actually, I want to say after my first couple years of college, my first college stint in Texas, and I came back home. Then I started pursuing music with my friends and stuff like that, like had a little rap group for a little bit. And
that's really cool.
Had a couple.
So you studied in college. What did you study? Did you study music?
Not right away. First, I studied mechanical engineering. Then I went into sports science. And then once the whole sports thing didn't work out, I came back, and that's when the music really picked up for me on the educational level.
Okay. It's very interesting because I've interviewed several of the artists who are going to be performing in this new series, And most of them did not have formal training in music. Most of them have learned it from their families or from the church or for some other reason. So it's interesting to me that you can be so talented and not have studied it formally. That's pretty impressive. So,
Thank you.
so what's your favorite instrument? Because your voice is your instrument too. So you have your voice and all those musical instruments. Which one?
I mean, I would have to say voice, since you could do the most with the voice. Like, you can do everything within my sets. Like, when I'm playing shows and stuff like that, I do a lot of looping. So I loop my voice a lot. I use my voice as percussion. I use my voice as harmonies with myself, with the looper and stuff like that. So the voice, for sure, you can do the most.
Really cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So your band will be playing really in the genre of soul. And it's interesting that you're applying soul as an older form of music. You're applying some really modern techniques though with the looping tools. I don't know the right words for them, but the technology that you're using is advanced and more current. And you're using it within sort of an old school type genre of music. That's neat.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what inspires you? What are you inspired by, Matt, to perform music in particular? What inspires you?
I'm inspired by everyday events for the most part. Like the things that happen in my life, the things that happen to the people that I love, that's what really inspires me, because that's what I can connect with.
Our vision at Arts Garage is to connect our community to the world through the arts. And that comes out of a belief that when you perform, you're bringing your experiences as the individual that you are to the stage and sharing that with everybody in the audience. So whatever your experience is and wherever you're from, what your cultural experience is, what your day-to-day life experience is, you're sharing that with the audience who's part of your show, and it really grows us as people, we believe that here.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Okay, so tell me about music. I think it's powerful. So the question is formulated in my belief, which is, describe to me what you feel the power of music is. And I would say that that's a particularly important question right now, because of the pandemic and because of all of the protests related to racial inequities that we see in our world, sadly, still in 2020. What do you believe the power of music is in that context?
Music is, to me, is literally everything. It can transform like the way that you see the world. Like, it can make you feel something. It can make you feel happiness, sadness, anger, even guilt. So music is one of those universal things that just moves people. So like with everything that's going on within race and the movement, Black Lives Matter movement, I tend to pick a lot of songs that do have to do with race and the history of people singing about race, like Nina Simone and singing Strange Fruit. Her rendition of that is like one of my favorite songs.
Mine too.
Yeah. Or Stevie Wonder singing Don't You Worry About a Thing, or any of those songs. Like, those are all classics to me, and they still are relevant today. So that should say a lot about music in itself.
I agree. Music is a vehicle for transformation. I think forever the arts have been tied to almost every social movement. And I think it's really cool. Okay, so thank you, because you did 2 or 3 performances for us for From Our Hearts to Your Homes. And that series was immediately after we had to close Arts Garage. We started that series. And it was at a time where we didn't know when I had really hoped that we would be back in business. It's not that we're out of business. Let me rephrase that. We'd be back producing live shows again by now. We had really hoped that that was the case, and maybe our rose-colored glasses needed to be cleaned off a little bit, because here we sit. But the series was free to our patrons, and we did not compensate any of our artists who performed for us. So I'm super, super grateful. We know what we were asking. We know that a lot of the performers who performed need the money. So I really am grateful for that. And I hope that in the process you picked up some new fans.
Sure, it was a lot of fun, and I actually learned a few new songs for those shows. So it was nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Tell me about your fans, the ones that come to see you in your shows, when there are people coming to see people in shows. How do you interact with them, or what do you feel the vibe is during a show or after, related to you and your fans?
Well, my fans, I'll promote my shows and stuff beforehand and everything. And then those that do come out, that like specifically come out for me, because a lot of places I play at venues that have a built-in crowd already. So it's nice to build new relationships as well as bring in old ones, you know? So those that come in with me, a lot of times they're friends of mine, sometimes they're just acquaintances. And then my fans, like the ones that I don't know, I really appreciate them and them coming and supporting. I wouldn't be anything without my fans, because who would I be playing for or to if nobody's listening, you know? But it's really, I don't know how to answer the question.
No, you did a good job answering the question. I think Nicole Henry, who's the first performance in this series, is a fan favorite here. And she and Nestor Torres talked about the fans specifically at Arts Garage. What I hope you'll find, because we want to have you back when there's a real audience in the room for you, because almost every performer says that the experience during the show, you're feeding off of each other's energy.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, for sure.
What you'll find at Arts Garage, and what they talked about, which made me so proud, our audience is really educated, real music aficionados, and they come in dedicated to listening to the show. They're not chatting it up during, you know, and we're at cabaret tables, so they're round tables with 6 to 8 people. They're not chatting it up with each other. They're completely engaged in the concert. It's a true concert. It's not a background story, right, for your life. And it's a really beautiful thing. So I'm excited to have you back again once we're live, audience.
I actually have experienced the Arts Garage audience before in the past. I played, I want to say it was 2018, the end of 2018, with my band Mood Swing for a trio. It's a different, and the audience was amazing. The feedback, everything. Just while we're playing, everybody's really focused on what we're doing, the words that are coming out of their mouth, every note. Like somebody came up to me after the show and was like, "Nice bass lick." And people rarely listen to the bass, so it was nice for somebody to come and say that to me.
Yeah, no, our audience is really sharp. They understand the way, many of them understand the complexity of layering the sounds from the different instruments and the voice, and they know how to isolate each piece so they can hear it for its own beauty. It's really a beautiful audience. We're very lucky. So anything you want to tell the people that are going to see this before your show about the show, or about you, that will make them want to come check it out?
So this show, actually the players that I'm playing with are all incredible. First of all, Buddy Jackson is actually my first cousin. He's pretty much my brother. Like, we grew up together. Like, we went to the same school, everything, you know. He also grew up playing in church right beside me. So that connection is there for years, you know. He's great. He used to be in the NFL, the CFL, stuff like that. Had his stint. Now he's about to be a firefighter, and I've had the privilege of playing with him, like, awesome, in this time. So that's awesome. The drummer that we have is Donnell McCann, and he is also incredible. He's a beast. He's played with many people, including Layla Hathaway, Donnie Hathaway's daughter. So he's amazing.
Awesome.
And Ransom Miller, who he's a musician, educator, everything, new father. So he's awesome. He plays every instrument as well, and he'll be playing the trumpet, flugelhorn, synth bass, keys, everything. So he's amazing.
Insane. It's really insane.
Yeah, and that band, this is actually the first time that all of us are playing together at the same time since we recorded my second single back in 2018, Mr. Nice Guy, which you can find everywhere. You'll hear Ransom's flugelhorn solo and everything on it. And my dad actually plays piano on that song as well. So.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you send that to our marketing team so we can use that in your marketing?
I'm not I think so, actually. Yes.
Okay,
the video.
I'll make sure.
I sent the music video. There's a music video.
All right, good. Because that would be good for the audience to hear, especially if it's the same performers. You know, that would be neat. They can see exactly who's going to be on the stage. We had to limit, we're trying to do everything socially distanced. So everybody except the singers will be wearing masks. You'll be 6 feet apart on the stage. So we're maxing it at 4 performers. But with the number of instruments and things you're doing, it sounds like you have 8 performers. So it's cool that they're so diverse and skilled. That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, Matt Brown, August 29th at 7 p.m. will be your show with the Music at Home Live from Arts Garage series. And we can't wait to see you.
I can't wait to
Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview today.
Of course.
All right, see you soon.
All righty, thank you.